Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. So I'm going to be doing another pick a card reading, and the topic of this reading is going to be how you will get rich. So basically, if you have dreams or aspirations to become successful and wealthy, whatever that means to you, then this pick a card reading can kind of guide you in the right direction. So if this is your first pick a card reading, the way that it works is that you pretty much choose one of the crystals that you see on your screen, and you pick the crystal based off of your intuition. So whatever stands out to you the most, whatever comes to you first, or whatever you're drawn towards first, that is the pile that will most likely resonate with you. And if you are drawn to more than one crystal, then you can watch more than one pile, and both or all might resonate with you. So we are going to get right into it. I will leave the timestamps down below. And I also always give this disclaimer because some people say that pick a cards give them like anxiety, like, oh, I never know which one to pick. And like I was saying in my other readings, this is a perfect opportunity for you to strengthen your intuition, because that anxiety comes from you not like trusting your intuition. So pick a card readings helps you strengthen that by helping you to practice going towards the pile that you feel first drawn to, because that's usually your intuition pulling you towards it. All right, so just take a second and pause the video, look at the crystals for a second, and then choose your pile. And the timestamps will be in the description box down below. Okay, group number one. So let's get into your reading and let's see how you will find wealth and success. So right away, the first card I pulled was the success card, so immediately that's a good sign. And then we had the Queen of Cups clarifying it in the reverse. All right, so what I'm getting with this Queen of Cups in the reverse is that for some of you, you've been through a lot of hardships in life, like a lot of things that were emotionally taxing, emotionally painful. And the way that you're going to get rich or get wealthy and successful is that you're going to take those painful events and you are going to basically turn them into profit or turn them into something positive. So you'll be creating something out of your emotional wounds. So I'm seeing here that a lot of you are very gifted in a specific area. I'm seeing writing, that some of you are very gifted with writing, or you have a way with words. So it could be either writing or speaking is what I'm hearing. For some of you, this is going to be you writing some sort of book or some sort of series. I'm getting different messages now. I must be reading for a lot of people because I'm getting a lot of different storylines. So for some of you, is going to be a book that is about your life and about the things that you've been through. And the point of it is going to be to motivate people and encourage people, because the things that you've been through have allowed you to gain a lot of wisdom is what I'm seeing. For some of you, it won't be directly about your life. It'll be like a self-help sort of book, but you'll be taking wisdom that you learned from your own life to write the self-help book. For some of you, I'm seeing a fantasy or a fiction book. This is for those of you who it's possible that when you were going through your hardships, your emotional hardships, fantasy or fiction books really helped you to get through. So maybe as like a child or a teenager, maybe fantasy books and things of that sort were like your escape. And so now you want to kind of pay it forward and write your own fantasy or fiction book that helps other people escape their hardships, you know. For those of you in terms of speaking, I'm hearing that there could be some public speaking that you do. Speaking of some sort of podcast, I'm just hearing writing and speaking. But also I'm seeing movies, movie scripts, plays. I feel like I'm reading for a lot of people right now. But overall, writing or speaking, and it involves the wisdom that you have gained from emotionally taxing situations is what I'm seeing. And you'll know exactly what I'm talking about because the gift card is here. So this is an area that you are gifted in, you are good at it, and you should be aware that you are good at it. But now it's like you have to take that gift and actually use it. With the Six of Cups being here, and the Creator card being here and the Coffin card in the reverse, I feel like this is something that you could have been aware of since like childhood. Like you could be aware that you're talented in this area since you were a child. But for some of you, this is talking about that this is a past life gift. So if you were just someone who is just naturally good at writing or good at speaking, it's because you've carried that gift with you from a past life. And that's why you are able to master it in this lifetime if you focus and practice your skill and your craft, because you already have experience under your belt from either childhood or a past life. So you're being asked and guided to definitely master your craft. So if you're a writer, take some sort of maybe free writing course or practice writing every day. Or if you are a public speaker, take some sort of public speaking course. It's like basically you're being asked to master your craft, because that's going to be a huge part of your success. It's not enough that you're already gifted at it and you have all this wisdom from your experiences. You still need to practice and master it and be very disciplined and focused on it. And this is something that's important because it's important to the collective and not just you. This is something that is going to benefit a lot of people. And this is something that is going to be an ongoing journey. So as life goes on, you're going to obtain more and more wisdom. And so you'll never run out of things to write about. You'll never run out of things to speak about. So this is something like a career that could last you a lifetime. Like you could be like in your 60s with like 10 bestsellers under your belt or something along those lines. You see what I'm saying? Because your career is based off of your experiences and the things that you've been through. That's where you're getting the inspiration from. I hope that makes sense. For some of you, this is a dream that you may have had when you were younger, or something that you kind of knew you were gifted at when you were younger, but for some reason you didn't pursue it, or maybe you never saw it as something that could actually turn into a career. But for some of you, you're starting to just realize and see that you could implement this skill into your career. So if you were like a kid that was always like in school praised for your writing, like, oh, she's such a good writer, he's such a good writer by the teachers, maybe you never really thought that writing could be a career just because you were praised for it. But now, like at this time in your life, you could kind of be realizing like, okay, I've always been gifted at that, maybe I should try my hand at that. See what I'm saying? I do see with the creator card being here that this deals with, one second, I'm waiting for the messages to come through. Oh, this deals with creativity. So for those of you who are writing some sort of fiction book, or maybe writing a movie script or something along those lines, your inner child is going to help you to achieve this, because your creativity, when you tap into the energy from your inner child, that's where your best creative ideas come from. So your inner child would be helping you to create these, not just, well, I'm saying this as if it's one thing. I feel like it's multiple things. Like once you start, you're not going to stop. If you write a script, you're going to write more than one. If you write a book, you'll write more than one. If you speak at some sort of event, you'll speak at more than one. This is going to be an ongoing thing. It's going to spark this passion in you that's going to make you want to keep on going. So in terms of how I pulled 2 cards for what could possibly block you. We have the Swords card in the reverse, and we have the Trust card in the reverse. All right, so the Swords card in reverse to me is basically talking about being drained of your energy. And I'm seeing that you're being drained by overthinking and not trusting your gifts and not trusting the process. So the more you stress about everything that could go wrong, it drains and depletes your energy, and then you never get anything accomplished or done. So you're wanting to keep your energy levels up by continuing to practice your craft and by getting started. The more that you procrastinate and the more that you put it off, it's like the further and further your success moves away from you, because it's like you're draining yourself more and more the more you procrastinate, if that makes sense. People who put off their dream for years and years and years, and they're always like, oh, I wish I would have started earlier. It's like they get less and less, they get more discouraged as they continue to put off what they know they need to be doing. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's never too late to start anything. You can start your dream at any age. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm more so talking about when you discover this is what I want to do, and then you continue to put it off. It's like the more you put it off, the more discouraged you become. The quicker you dive into it and start mastering that craft, the more confident you will be, because you'll have a lot of experience. Also, I'm seeing here that you cannot fear failure, because failure is going to be a part of this path. The first thing that comes to mind is J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter, the writer of Harry Potter, how she went to like 11 different publishing companies before one finally published her book. Now, nowadays, people just self-publish. So I don't know if that really applies, but it could very well be personal failure. Like maybe days where you get up and you want to say, I'm going to write a certain amount of pages this day, but then you don't, and you could feel like, oh man, I had writer's block, I feel like a failure. It's like you're going to have those days, you're going to have to push through those days. And the way that you push through them is by trusting in your gift and knowing that you have something very valuable to offer the collective. And because you have something valuable to offer, you will get that right back. And again, this goes for writing and speaking. So that could apply that to speaking as well. Like maybe you speak at an event and maybe you didn't feel confident, or you feel like you didn't do well. You have to keep on going anyway. Like you can't allow that to kind of beat you down to the point where you don't keep going, because like I said, this is something that you are gifted at. This is something that the collective needs, and so you cannot allow any type of hardships or setbacks to stop you from moving towards your success, is what I'm seeing. And you just have to have trust and faith in a higher power, because the source card is also the higher power, the creator, the most high, God, whatever you believe in, giving you this gift. And so if you believe that you've got this gift from God and from the most high, then you should in turn believe that you're meant to use it and that you are 100% going to be successful. Because why would God give you a gift that you weren't, that could benefit you and benefit the collective, and then allow you to fail? Like that wouldn't make any sense. So you're needing to kind of keep that in mind as well, is what I'm seeing. And I'm also hearing that acting could go into the category of speaking as well. So like speaking, writing, or acting. Yeah, that makes sense. Acting for some of you, especially if your emotional experience, like if you've had a lot of experiences that have really affected you emotionally, usually those are the people who make the best actors, because you've experienced such a wide range of emotion that then you can emulate a large range of emotion. See what I'm saying? So yeah, it looks like that is how you are going to become successful. And the last card I pulled is the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles is basically not being afraid to put the hard work in, not being afraid to be disciplined and consistent. This is something that is going to require a lot of consistency and dedication, especially for the writers. You're going to have writer's block and things of that sort. You're going to have to try your best to push through it, seek out inspiration and push through it, and keep on building and mastering your craft by practicing it as often as you can. So that is it, group number 1. I really hope that was helpful. If you are drawn towards any other pile, feel free to watch those as well. And if not, I will see you guys in my next reading. Bye. Okay, group number 2. So let's get into your reading. So how will you become rich and successful? So the first 3 cards out are the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, the Friendliness card, and the High Honor card. So with the High Honor card here, it looks like the path that you're taking towards success has a lot to do with your integrity and your dignity. So it's looking like some sort of leadership position is what I am seeing. With the Wheel of Fortune being here in the reverse, this is something that has to do with free will, or other people's free will, like freeing people from things that bind them or constrict them. And it's because you yourself have freed yourself from things that have oppressed you or weighed you down. And because you do have, integrity, and you value your freedom, you feel like it's kind of your duty to free other people, if that makes sense. So there's like this leadership position that you are going to step into, or that it's going to kind of come to you. Like even if you don't originally feel like it's going to be your path, it'll end up being your path. It'll kind of just, I don't know what the best way to describe this is. It's like a path that you originally were not walking on, but then you get called towards it. Like I said, it's like something where you yourself have been oppressed by something and you have freed yourself from it. And it's almost like you feel like it's your duty to now free other people who have gone through the exact same thing. It's just like a very honorable, prestigious sort of position that you are going to be in. It is going to result in you being very successful and very wealthy. With the friendliness card being here in the reverse, again, this is like freeing people from the ties that bind them, because I read the friendliness in reverse card as like enmeshment, like people being enmeshed by things that are holding them back or weighing them down, and you being the one to uplift them and to kind of free them from it. And again, it's coming from a place of you genuinely just having this honor, this respect, this, I'm trying to figure out the best way to describe this. This is like a very prestigious sort of feeling, like people really looking up to you as like a leader, and you standing very tall and in a very respectable manner, and not being afraid to speak up for those who possibly don't have a voice. I'm trying to see what the best example would be here. It's like, I wish I could describe like the way the card's making me feel better. It kind of reminds me of, like, some of you might not like this example, but this is the best I've got. It kind of reminds me of like Kim Kardashian, like what she's doing with prison reform. And I'm not saying she's been oppressed in any way, but you see how like that has kind of called to her. Like it was like not on her path originally, but she was kind of called to do it. You see what I'm saying? Like it's like an honorable thing to do, and then people are kind of like looking up to her like with respect for kind of taking that route, and she's like freeing people from, you know, the things that have been binding them and oppressing them. You see what I'm saying? I'm hearing Nelson Mandela would be another example. This is just like a very honorable position. I really hope that I am conveying the message properly, because I feel like a lot of you are going to fall into this position, not accidentally, but originally you didn't think that this would be your path, and it turns into your path. But I feel like it's always been in you, this sense of integrity, or this desire for justice. It's always kind of been in you, but maybe you didn't realize that it was going to be a part of your path and a part of what's going to cause you to become wealthy and successful. We have the toil and labor card here next, along with politics in the reverse. Some of you could be a politician, could be going into politics. But like I said, toil and labor card, politics card, and the Three of Pentacles. So right away with the Three of Pentacles, this is going to be something that you will not be able to do alone. This is something that you're going to have some sort of like a team with you. So this is something major. This is like starting some sort of movement, some sort of reform movement, something along those lines. And again, some of you might not like this example, but the best one I can give is Kim Kardashian, because I'm thinking about how she has like that team of lawyers that she works with. It's not just her working on prison reform. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to be building with a group of people in whatever this movement is. And it's interesting because when you hear these readings, like, okay, how will you get rich? You never really expect it to be things like this. Like you expect like, oh, you're going to start a business or something like that. But for this specific spread, this is not something that you particularly are doing to get rich. Like this isn't something that you're like, okay, I want to do this because it's going to make me a lot of money. Being rich and successful is just going to be a byproduct of what you are doing, because you just feel passionate about this and you feel like it's the right thing to do. You see what I'm saying? Some of you, you're already going to be somewhat well known, or you're already going to be successful in some way, but this will make you even more successful and make you even more money. But again, you're not in it for the money. You're genuinely in it because you feel like it's the right thing to do. Like there's like this honor code, or like this very prestigious position that you're in, and you feel like it's the right thing to do. For some of you, like I said, this could be like a politician going into politics, and it's because you want to be a politician in the correct way. Like you want to cause change in the world in a way that's not, corrupt. It's almost like you want to go into a system that you might find to be a bit corrupt and reform it. And you're going to be quite well known and quite successful for that reason. So with the Aquarius card here, this is like being an innovator. This is being the first to do something, and guiding people in the right direction as well. So that could very well be why you're going to be so successful, is because it's like you're the first to kind of go into some sort of system that has been sort of corrupt, and then you're changing it or fixing it in some way. I really hope that this reading is making sense or ringing a bell to some of you, because I feel like some of you are already on this path, with the patience card being here and the expectation card being here in the reverse. I feel like this is a path that is going to require a lot of patience on your end. Like, this is something that is not going to happen overnight. You're going to have to work at it. That's why I feel like there is a team that is here. And with the expectation card being here in the reverse, I just really feel like some of you are not really aware. Like, some of you are on this path already, but some of you are really not aware, because again, this is not something that originally you think, oh, this is where I'm going to make a lot of money off of. It's just something that you are passionate about. Like, there's some sort of like social change or like social justice, something along those lines that you're just passionate about, and then it turns into some sort of career path for you, or it gives you a lot of success and a lot of spotlight. But initially you're doing it because you have this integrity, or you just feel like, I see something wrong and I see people suffering in some way, and I've suffered from it as well, and I want to be the one to fix it. I want to be the one to help. And that's what you are going to end up doing. And then you end up running across or meeting the right types of people who help you on this path. I wish I can give you a better example than Kim Kardashian. Hold on, let me think. I'm really coming up blank. All I can think about is Kim Kardashian and prison reform. I'm gonna pull one more card. Try to get more specific here. Let me see. This could be like you're passionate about like saving animals. You open up some sort of what is it called? Gosh, I always go blank when I'm channeling. What is it called? With the place where you save animals? No, I literally am going blank. No, not a reserve? What is it called? Y'all, please leave in the comment section. What is it called? Like when there's like those, sanctuaries. Is that what it's called? A sanctuary for animals? Like, instead of exploiting them and putting them in a zoo, like you open like a sanctuary to save them. It could be even something like that, like something where you just see a group of beings being oppressed in some way, and then you do something innovative to help them, and it gets you a lot of admiration, respect. But you didn't do it for the admiration or the respect. You did it because it's the right thing to do, but it ends up getting you admiration, it ends up getting you respect, and then it ends up making you very wealthy, which is not what you were expecting. This could be like you see some sort of injustice and you want to become a motivational speaker, and you go around speaking about the injustice, and you do it originally because you just feel like it's the right thing to do. You feel like someone needs to speak on it. You feel like their voice needs to be heard. Like people who can't speak for themselves, like you feel like it's the right thing to do to spread information and spread knowledge. Okay. I have a good example. If you go on YouTube and you type in dissociated, how do you spell that? DISSOCIADID. Dissociated. It is a channel that is aimed towards, I'll leave it in the description box down below. It's a channel that is aimed towards educating people about dissociative identity disorder. It's about educating people about it to remove the stigma and remove any of the ignorance surrounding it, because of people with this disorder are very much misunderstood. It is portrayed in the media in a way that is very harmful. So this channel has basically dedicated the system who runs the channel has dedicated their lives to basically teaching about this disorder in order to remove the stigma, to educate people about this disorder. That's something that's very innovative, with the Aquarius card being here, the star card. That's something that's innovative. It's something that, yes, there are other channels who have done that, but it's like their channel seems to be the most widespread. It seems to be getting the most views. It's like they do it in a way that's so in depth, and a way that's so easy for you to learn about it. It's just, you have to go look at the channel for yourself to see what I'm saying. So it's like, it's innovative. It's them doing it from a place of dignity and integrity, because they have been through so much with them having the disorder, that they want to give a voice to those who do not have a voice. and it's like they are very respected, very respectable position to be in. People look to them as kind of like the authority on DID, but they don't try to be that. They're not in it for the respect. They're not in it for the honor or the glory. They genuinely did it because they struggled with their disorder and they wanted to bring awareness. And now they have close to 1 million subscribers, I believe. So I can imagine the YouTube checks are rolling in. That's what I mean when I say you may not do it specifically for the glory or for the money. It could be something that you genuinely are like, this is a cause that I'm passionate about, and then the money just ends up rolling in. And when I see the Three of Pentacles here, the Dissocia did channel, they became big when they were interviewed. They became bigger when they were interviewed by Anthony Padilla, I think his name is, who is a bigger YouTuber who did like some sort of documentary on people with DID, like where he interviewed people with DID, and that's how they gained a very, very large following. So that's what I mean with this Three of Pentacles when I say like it's going to be people who are going to help you. You're going to collab with certain people in order for you to spread your message. So I really hope that that makes sense. Yeah, some of you are passionate about some sort of cause. You then take that passion and find a way to spread awareness, or you find a way to help people, and in turn it's going to make you very well known, and it's going to make you very rich and successful, even though that's not what you set out to do originally. So that is it. Oh, let me pull two for what would block you, because I did that for group number one. I pulled two cards for what would block you on this path. Totality, completion card. Okay, so what would block you on this path is if you listen to naysayers, because the totality card and the completion card is kind of like having an idea and wanting to start it, but then maybe people come and try to tell you why it won't work, or maybe you get like people trying to discourage you, and things of that sort. Like, for example, when Kim Kardashian first was saying she was going to law school, of course, there were jokes there. There were people like, well, you know, who, like, what do you know about going to law school? Or what are you going to just pay for your degree? Like, you know, naysayers. But it's like, continuing with it anyway, doing it anyway, despite the naysayers. You can't be, basically what I'm saying here is that you can't wait for other people to support you, because whatever cause this is, it could get a lot of backlash. Like for whatever reason, it could have a lot of pushback, or a lot of people could be against it. The Dissocia did channel that I talked about, they got a lot of nasty comments, people telling them, oh, you know, you're faking your disorder, just nasty shit like that. It makes me pissed to even think about it. But also I feel like there's this lack of support. So you might go to someone like, hey, I really am passionate about this, and I want to basically, you know, start this cause or start this movement, and they might not support you, and you need to go and then find someone else to help you with it. Then, like, you can't let someone's lack of support or them not cheering you on, you can't let that stop you from, you know, fighting this, whatever this cause is, or starting whatever this cause is, or stepping into this position. You have to just align with people who actually are willing to help you, because if you go to certain people and you wait for them to help you, you'll never complete this, is what I'm seeing. You never complete this. And also in your personal life, you have to make sure that you are not surrounded by too much negativity, because whatever this is, it's a big cause. Like, it's going to be something that is going to require, you know, your energy. And so you have to make sure that your personal life isn't too like draining or depleting. Like, if you're in some sort of like negative relationship, like imagine if Kim Kardashian was in like a draining, depleting relationship. Like, would she have time to be doing prison reform and all the things that she's doing? No, she would be too busy, like consumed in her relationship. And so it's like you're definitely needing to make sure that your relationships and like your life in general is as stress-free as possible, so that then you can focus your attention and your time onto this path and onto this cause, is what I'm seeing. All right, so that is it. I hope that that was helpful. If you feel drawn towards any other crystals, feel free to watch those as well. And if not, I will see you guys in my next reading. Bye. Okay, group number 3. So let's get into your reading. So we have the Six of Swords in reverse, the past lives in reverse, and the mature man card. So immediately what I'm getting is that some of you are going to be breaking some sort of generational curse when it comes to finances. So with the past lives card, I'm reading it as like the generations before you that were not granted certain opportunities. So you have access to things that people from your family or from your bloodline never had access to. So they had a very narrow worldview. Like they kind of saw the world in a very narrow way. They didn't really have any way of seeing outside of what they already had. So if let's say that your family comes from poverty, there was no one to kind of expand their minds and tell them like, hey, you can work your way out of this, or hey, there's an opportunity outside of this. You know what I'm saying? But because we have those opportunities now to see things in a more expansive way, because we have technology, we have the internet, it's like now we have an opportunity to break generational curses, especially surrounding, making money. So for a lot of you, you're breaking a generational curse because you just have access to a lot more knowledge about how to kind of gain finances and become financially well off. And that's something that your family before you did not have. So with the Six of Wands being here, the Knight of Pentacles, and then the Three of Cups in the reverse, I definitely do feel like this has something to do with social media or online. I just feel that very strongly with the Three of Cups card. And it's interesting because I don't usually read the Three of Cups card like that, but I am feeling like that. It has something to do with social media, something to do with the internet. I see that with the King of Wands being here at the bottom of the deck. This is like being well known. So this could be like you becoming some sort of influencer. It's like it's a job or career field, like I said, that your family before you did not have, because it's the internet. I just really feel like it's the internet. They didn't have access to it. Your mind, because of the internet, has been expanded. You're able to see the ways in which you can make money online. And one of those ways, for some of you, could possibly be some sort of influencer or having a large following in some way. And it's going to cause you to become very, very financially stable. But with the Three of Cups being here, I usually, like I said, I don't usually read it like this, but Three of Cups energy in this reading is making me feel like people who are going to be against you, or people who are going to kind of dislike you, and that comes with the territory of being an influencer or having a large following. And that's why I say it feels like the internet, or feels like having a following. The King of Wands being here, it's like all eyes on you, people paying very close attention to you, and you building a lot of financial stability through the internet, or through being some sort of influencer or building some sort of following. With the Temperance card being here, and then the Two of Pentacles, what's interesting is that I feel like not only are you going to be making money by building a following, but also you'll be making money teaching other people how to build a following as well, because I'm seeing like you want to kind of share the wealth. Like whatever you accomplish, you want to help other people to accomplish it too, because like I said, for a lot of you, you're breaking a generational wealth that surrounds finances. Like there are different types of generational curses, and for a lot of us, our family has been trapped in a generational curse involving finances. Like there's been cycles of poverty over and over again, or just them not being able to break free from the life that they had in terms of being very limited when it comes to their resources, so therefore very limited when it comes to how much money they can make. You see, and a lot of us are breaking that generational curse with the help of, the internet and learning smart ways to make a lot of money online. And I feel like for a lot of you, you want to help other people break that generational curse as well. For some of you, that could be your path, like to break free from the generational shackles of not having enough when it comes to money. And a part of your path is to help other people break free from that as well. I do see also with the Temperance card being here, that's the Sagittarius card. So that's the card of higher knowledge or enlightenment. So some of you could be like into spirituality, philosophy. You could be building a following based on that, or you very well could be just using that to form whatever it is you're going to be forming online. Let me give an example. So like I said, some of you could be like into spirituality, and you could be like building a following. Like maybe you have some sort of online social media page about yoga or meditation that gets very big. But it doesn't have to be directly that. It could be that maybe you are someone who's into spirituality and you meditate every day, and as you're meditating, you get ideas about a company that you want to start online. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be directly you're building a following on spirituality. It could possibly be you being into spirituality, you being into the law of attraction, and you using that to build whatever following you want to have involving any subject is what I'm seeing. And I do see like your intuition definitely guiding you. Yeah, for sure. The inner voice card is here and the message card. That's definitely your intuition guiding you, for sure, without a doubt. So if you don't meditate or pray or things of that sort to clear your mind, I highly suggest you do, or possibly booking some sort of career reading with a tarot reader, because I am seeing that there's higher messages being downloaded into your mind about this path. And again, some of you, it's very direct. It's like you're getting intuitive downloads or getting spiritual messages and you're sharing them online, and that's helping you to build a following. So you're directly sharing those messages. But for some of you, it's like you're getting intuitive messages that are guiding you towards this is how you build your following. So for example, let's say that you are building a following around fashion online. You could be getting intuitive, creative ideas from the higher realms that basically showing you, listen, this is the look that you need to post, or things of that sort. And so I hope I'm not getting confusing. You're needing to get in touch with your intuition. It's going to give you a lot of ideas when it comes to building your following or building your platform. So with the Two of Pentacles being here, creativity in reverse, and the Thoughts card in the reverse. So I'm seeing here that for a lot of you, what's going to be kind of like in the way or blocking you is that you may be interested in more than one thing at one time, and you may be wondering which route to go in. And what I'm hearing is that you need to combine the two. So let's just stick with the fashion. Maybe you're into fashion and spirituality, and maybe you find a way to combine the two. Maybe you start making jewelry out of crystals. It's like some of you just have two things that you're like, I really love this and I really love that. Which one should I build a following on? And you're being guided with this reading to basically combine them both and build a following based off of that. Definitely social media for sure. At the beginning of this, I'm like, is this the internet? Is this social media? I really feel like this is social media for sure. So combine the two. You don't have to choose one of them. Combine both of them is what I am seeing. Use your creativity and combine both of them, because I feel like if you take one route or the other route, it won't be as creative. And if you try to do both separately, it won't be as creative as if you merge the two together is what I am seeing. Let me pull one more. The Knight of Cups is in the reverse. The Queen of Pentacles is in the reverse. Okay, so with the Knight of Cups being here and the Queen of Pentacles, I feel like these two cards are talking about your blockage, like what could block you from obtaining this success or obtaining this wealth. And basically what will block you is not being true to yourself and not being authentic, because your authenticity is what's going to build you the largest following. Like if you try to basically mold yourself or fit like the standards of what you see, it's like you're doing yourself a disservice. So you're needing to be 100% authentic and be yourself. Don't try to be what other people would see as like the ideal. Like, okay, this is the ideal thing that they want to see. Like they want to see this picture perfect thing, or they want to see like the best version of me at all times. It's like, it's not that. They want to see the real is what I'm seeing. Like they want to see you authentically. That doesn't mean, of course, act a mess on the on the internet. Of course, you want to still maintain a level of, professionalism, but it's like they want to see you authentically. So make sure that you are creating from your authentic self. Let's put it that way. I'm going to pull one more. Out the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups being here, to me, that's kind of like the I'm reading that as kind of like the inner child, like the creative aspect of yourself that's very like pure, like your inner, like when you're a child and you create without really caring much what people think. Like when you're finger painting as a child, you're not really thinking like, oh, this is not as good as the other kids' finger painting, I'm just not gonna. It's like you don't do that. Like as a child, you create for the fun of it. And I feel like that's what it's saying here, to create and share on your platform, for the fun of it. Don't try to be like the ideal person, or like don't try to be perfect and things of that sort. It's like you're creating from a space of enjoyment is what I'm seeing. And I'm also seeing that another thing that could block you with the moment to moment card being here in the reverse is if you get too anxious about the future. So I'm reading this as like when you're building, like when your numbers are going up, like when you're building a following, it's kind of like if you think too much about the numbers, you'll get discouraged. You need to just keep creating and the numbers will come. Like if you build it, the people will come, is what I'm seeing. Because I see a lot of you kind of getting discouraged, like, well, I post and post and post and I'm not building my following, or the following's not going up. You need to keep going at it and don't think so much about the numbers. Think more so about the content that you are putting out, and also just have faith that, you know, the following is going to come. It's going to come, especially if you're sharing things that are very beneficial to other people, whether it be information or knowledge or high quality photos, because beauty is also very valuable to people. Beauty is not something that's just surface level and vain. You know, beauty, if you look up the benefits of looking at beautiful things, there's a lot of positive psychological benefits to observing beautiful things. That's why, like, when you go to a museum and you observe art, it can actually really raise your mood. It could raise your vibration. It's like, just look up the benefits of aesthetics and like the psychological benefits of seeing beautiful things, and you'll see that it's very important. So if you're creating, even if you're just posting like beautiful pictures, that's still something that's very, very important, or that's something that's very beneficial and helpful to people as well. And so you're kind of needing to not look at the numbers, like I said, and just look at your content and the importance of it, and make sure you are creating from a space of authenticity, and then the following will definitely, without a doubt, come. Don't be afraid to take risks as well. With the Fool card being here, don't be afraid to take risks and to kind of step outside of the box. If it doesn't work out for you, then try something else. Like, just keep on getting creative, keep on upping your creativity, and just post things that, you know, you would enjoy, and try to keep it as high quality as possible. And I feel like a following and then money will inevitably come for it. And I feel like for those of you who are watching this specific pile, you're already on track to doing that. Like, maybe you already have a feeling that you're meant to have some sort of online following, or that you're meant to start an online business that's going to make you a lot of money. But I feel like some of you, like I said, are just aware that you're on this path already, and you possibly just been hesitating a little bit. But it's basically, these cards are telling you it's time to get on your path. Especially if you feel kind of like empty lately, or you feel kind of like just bored and kind of like blah, like depleted. It's basically saying that that's your intuition's way of telling you to start posting more content and getting more serious about building this online following or starting this online business. There's a lot of things being cleared out of a lot of people's lives, and it's going to be this big empty space there. And if you're watching this pile, you're being asked to fill that empty space of time. Like, there's things being cleared out that gives you more time on your hands, put it that way. And you're being asked to fill that time slot now with building your following and putting out high quality content, is what I'm seeing. Yeah, and some of you, it's interesting because some of you, I'm seeing that you are very gifted and you're really keeping it to yourself, and it keeps you up at night. And it should, because if you're gifted and you're not sharing it, and you feel called to share it. Some people are gifted and they're not called to share it. They're meant to just keep it to themselves. But if you're gifted and you feel like you should be sharing it, but you're not, out of fear or something along those lines, that's what's disturbing you. Like, if you feel like this like sense of something's just off, like my life just feels kind of like, you're not going to rest peacefully or sleep peacefully through the night until you actually start using your gift and your gifts and putting it out there. And I know that might sound very dramatic, like, oh, you're not going to sleep peacefully, but it's true. Like, some of you who, because like some of you that are listening to this, you know is what I'm hearing. You know that you're holding back, and that's why you feel off track in life, because you're not doing what you deep down know that you're supposed to be doing. Because again, this isn't just about making money for yourself. This is like breaking a generational curse that has a lot to do with finances, that your family had to kind of struggle with finances generation after generation. And we have fortunately been gifted the ability to make money online that our parents didn't have, or that the past generations did not have. And so, it's like, you've been gifted with some sort of talent, some sort of vision or something along those lines, and you're needing to use it to your advantage. And if you don't, that's why you just feel very just kind of empty or off track when it comes to life. And you will be successful if you just stay consistent. So that is it. I really hope that this was helpful. If you find yourself drawn to any of the other piles, go ahead and watch those as well. And if not, I will see you guys in my next reading.